What's going on, everybody? How are you? I have about 40 minutes that I'm not going to use all of it, but I wanted to talk to you guys really quick about something that came up in one of my other trainings that I was doing for health coaching, and that was basically controlling what you can control. And so I think a lot of times people don't realize that they're getting in their own way, and that's in any business. It's not just, product investigation work. This just all together in any business. And so that's kind of what I want to touch on. So I'm just kind of going to give you some things to think about as you grow in this industry, or maybe you're just trying to get in this industry, or maybe you've been in this industry for a while and you're trying to make a decision on what you want to do with the rest of your life or whatever. So with that being said, so one of the things that you guys have complete control over, right? No one's stopping you, is if you're a business owner, you have control over how many people you reach out to and you contact, right? You have control over that. You have the control of how much time you spend on it, who you reach out to. And if you're just trying to get a PI job or work for a PI company, you have control over how much time you spend in that as well. So that's what it's all about, right? Is your control. You have control over it. Nobody's stopping you from reaching out to these people. Now, they may say no. They may say no, thank you, but you're never going to get that no if you don't try it. You also have control over how much self-improvement you have, right? So no one's stopping you from improving yourself. This is 2019. There's a plethora of information online and good information on YouTube or in books, and there's just endless supplies of information. You are not limited by how close you are to a library. I mean, you guys have endless supply at your fingertips through your phone, and digital books and podcasts. Like, oh my gosh, there's no excuse. There's no excuse to not be a better version of you. With that being said, so personal development, how much are you investing in yourself? Are you going to seminars? Are you going to conventions, doing PI-related things? How much time are you spending in that? Oh, hold on, my dog's got to get out of here. So there's that, right? How much marketing do you do? You have control over that as a business owner. It could be the time you intentionally spend on going and knocking on doors, or the time that you spend networking with other investigators, or the time that you spend talking to attorneys or reaching out to them. You have control over that. Nobody else. It's no one else. You can't blame anybody else. It's only your fault if you don't do it. So you have control. Control what you can control. You have control who you work for. Believe it or not, if you're working for a really crappy company, you have control where you are. I've worked for some really wonderful companies, and I've worked for some really bad ones. And one of the things that it's like, oh, my dog, to my core, that I cannot do is I cannot work for a bad company or bad people. Just can't do it. I would much rather deliver pizzas than to work for a bad company. You have control over that. So if you're working for a company that you are miserable with, no one's keeping you there. You got to go find another company. Don't be comfortable in being miserable. You don't want that. And I mean that even in your PI business too. Do not be comfortable in being miserable. It's okay. We can find a better company to work for. And there are good companies out there. I mean, so you control that. Don't be miserable. There was a company that I was working for not that long ago. Well, maybe it's been a long time now. But anyways, the integrity of that company was not where it needed to be. And they did, it's just kind of like they're putting people in positions of leadership that have no business being there. And because I've been in this industry a very long time, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, okay, I'll go do that. That's when it was like, something maybe illegal or is going to get me in trouble. I just don't do that. And so I had to kind of correct some thought processes on why they wanted me to do certain things. And anyways, it kind of ruined the integrity of the company, and it ruined the integrity with that person. And then, it just kind of snowballed from there. But I had control. So when I realized that was no longer a good fit, I said, listen, guys, I just can't do work for you anymore. And it was at a subcontract level, but I just can't do that. I can't work for bad people. You have control over whether you start a business or not. You have control over that. Okay? Like, of course, maybe for some places you're like, okay, well, I needed a college degree, or some places you need, hey, I need 2 years of experience in the field. Okay, so get the experience and then go start your own business. Okay? And don't be afraid. It's not that big a deal. You can totally do it on the side as you build up your business, and maybe you're working for somebody, or maybe you're doing, maybe you're not even in the PI industry, but you're doing PI work over here. Maybe you're working for a grocery store. Like, it doesn't matter. Build it up on the side. You have control over that. Guys, I'm so passionate about this, and this is just any industry, not just PI industry, but of how many people think or feel like they're helpless and they can't do anything, and I'm stuck here forever. No, you're not. You have control over these things. Now, whether you do something about it is a whole nother conversation. But you're not stuck. Maybe you have a PI business and you want to grow it. Cool. How are we going to do that? You have control over that. Sometimes it might require more personal development. Maybe you need to be a better person. Maybe you need to have better communication skills. Maybe you need to have better people around you. Maybe you need a marketing guy. You have control over that, right? Maybe. There's just different ways. Nobody's stuck. This is the United States of America, and I know that this is kind of like a nationwide audience, or a worldwide audience, excuse me, but a lot of people who follow this live in a pretty good country, right? Where there's just no limits to what you're capable of doing if you do the work. So control what you can control. Control whether you do a good job on a case, and you can't control the outcome necessarily of a case, but you can make yourself better to be better for that case. You've got control over that. Be intentional. You have control over the reports that you write. Are they going to be really crappy reports? Are they going to be good reports? You have control over your turnaround time, right? On your files. You know, sometimes it's going to require you to stay up a little bit later, but you have control. There's some people that will write crappy reports and they do nothing to do it any better. They're just very comfortable in doing it halfway and not really taking any pride in it. Lefty Ford says it's amazing the amount of companies that don't have any integrity. I agree. And this is true. And so a lot of companies, and this is what I'm seeing more and more, is they're placing people in leadership positions that know like, okay, well, I know how to, run a case, right? I know how to, okay, they check in and, okay, no activity, let's go pretext. Like, this is the standard. Anybody could do that. There's could be a list of things to do. How you doing, Justin? There could be a list of things to do. If this, don't do that, like a flow chart. If they don't answer, do this, Of course, anybody could do that. It's super simple. And with experience, you make different decisions than you would in like a little flow chart of, okay, if this happens, then do this or whatever. But the integrity comes when they tell you to do things that are maybe in the gray area, or maybe they mislead you into doing different things, or maybe it's in regards to pay, or all these little things like it will destroy a company. So they're not actually teaching leadership and the foundations of it for people to follow and want to work hard for a company. They don't teach any of that. They just throw them in the position here, make sure everybody's doing the right thing. If they don't do the right thing, whatever, let them go, punish them, whatever, right? It's just kind of like not getting people to want to follow. And I think that's one of the most important things. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys watch personal development things. There's some people that I follow, and I'm always trying to figure out what they read. Like these people that are really brilliant people, what they read, so I can get the same knowledge as them, right? And so I'm just about done with this book. This is actually a really old book. I read the audio, or read it. There's audio version. This is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, folks. Boy, please get this, and it's a little slow. It starts off a little slow, but definitely get this book. You can get the written version. It doesn't matter. I got this at a used bookstore, on Amazon. It was like, I don't know, like $5. Oh my gosh, brilliant book. The only reason I bought the book was so I can highlight things that I heard in the book. And I'm just sharing stuff with you guys that it's literally changing how I do business in my other businesses. I have not read this one yet. But I'm going to. This is what I also bought. This is also as a used copy. This one, Zig Ziglar. This is one of his most famous books. guy was in sales. Gosh, you want to learn about sales and how to sell and how to do sell properly? I'll give a book review on this, but this is what I'm going to be reading next, right? How can you guys learn how to sell or to manage or to lead if you guys don't learn how to do it, right? You got to read it from the people who are like masters. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is learn from the masters, people that have done it. This is actually the book, one of the books I'm reading right now, is from some Zig Ziglar. It was like $9, Closing the Sale. Now I'm just in the very beginning portions of this, and it talks about, it talks about sales and closing and all this stuff, but that, you'd be surprised that selling isn't being a douchey guy. Selling is about believing so much in the product that you're selling, is what I'm gathering here. And I've already kind of feel this way about the things that I sell, is that it would be a disservice if they didn't get your product, right? It'd be a disservice if you weren't able to serve them. You're doing them a favor. So that was really something interesting that I'm learning in this. The 5 levels of leadership. My gosh, man, you want to talk about wow stuff. You got a business or you're working for people, man, such good stuff. The speed of trust. I'm going to keep singing that song for a while until you guys read that. Man, when you guys understand the fundamentals of building trust and how important it is in your everyday life, man, it'll change your world. Now, this isn't something that was kind of a revelation to me. There were very much a lot of key points that I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought about it that way. Justin says, find the person's needs and how you can meet those needs. Absolutely. And that's asking a lot of questions, right, Justin? I think Justin just nailed something right there. When you're on the phone calls with these clients, whether insurance companies or maybe it's someone looking for somebody, or maybe it's a domestic dispute. I can't tell you how many messages I get about those things where I actually simplify it for them, because it's like, oh, my husband's cheating on me. Can you please help me? I'm like, he's cheating on you. What do you want me to do? It's already been done, Why are you going to pay me to like confirm it? Like 100%? Like you're just going to be more mad. So let me save you some money. I mean, either go to counseling or get a divorce. Be really good for your clients, even if it takes money out of your pocket, where you're not actually selling them something. Why would you sell them something that, what is it, just confirmation? They're going to be even more mad. I mean, I don't know. That's my thoughts on that real quick. But anyways, what's the moral of the story, guys? You guys want to be better. You guys want to do more. You have control of it. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's keeping you from doing these things. And I just want to really, man, if you needed to hear it, I hope this kind of resonated with you. If not, that's okay too. I think about you guys and PI advice all the time. I can just tell you, this is such a really busy season for my wife and I. And as you know, we kind of took another journey with health coaching. That's really, it's changing who I am as a person. I feel like it's making me better for you guys as well, even when I get a lot of messages on PI advice, and it helps me be better for you guys. And I'm really kind of been thinking about, PI advice isn't going anywhere. We're still going to be moving forward, but where this goes from here and how I can best serve you guys, because eventually I will eventually have things that I'm going to run out of stuff to be able to teach you. And I need to make sure that we have more teachers in here sharing that I know and trust, that I can trust with you, that have the right heart about this industry, that I trust them with you. Does that make sense? Where, they just I just want your best interest at heart. That's really what it comes down to. So I'm definitely throwing some things around in my head of what direction PI advice goes in next. It might be definitely an interview based, or making sure that when products are being advertised on PI advice, that it is really a good fit for you guys, that provides you value, and not just to not that I've done that at all, but just that it still continues to serve what I want PI advice to be all about for you guys. And so anyways, I know a lot of you guys have been following PI advice for a very long time, and I just love you guys. that you guys still check in. And I know William's in there; he's been following for days. Justin Brown, I know you've been messaging and whatever. You jumped on these lives for a very long time. I appreciate that, and you guys are awesome. So, anyways, I just want to leave you with that. Just something that came to my mind. I'm like, yep. When I have these moments of inspiration, I like to make sure I do something about it and share with you guys. And who knows? There's probably one person out there that needed to hear this, and if that touches one person and changes their life, then it was this 15 minutes or 20 minutes was totally worth it. But all right, you guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, any ideas, definitely message me. I'm always interested to hear your thoughts. As one of my mentors says, don't take too long to do things that don't take too long to do. So if that's starting a business, come on now, get it going. You can set your own destiny. You're not trapped by what someone says you're worth. You get to determine your own worth. So work hard on yourselves, guys. All right, guys. Talk to you later.